I am Jisha Akkara, Assistant Professor of Civil Engineering Department, Jyoti Engineering College. In this video, I will discuss about some basic concepts of environmental impact assessment. So, what is environmental impact assessment? Environmental impact assessment is assessing the impact of a proposed project on our environment. Next, we will define new three terms: what is project, what is impact, and what is environment. A project means it may be construction work or a installation work. Any work which intervenes the nature, surroundings, or landscape, that will be a project work. Suppose we are going to construct a dam or a road in a forest area. We know this construction work will be definitely disturbing the forest ecosystem. We know forest gives us food, shelter, firewoods, timber, etc. So we are going to assess what is the impact made by the construction of dam on our environment. So this impact may be positive or negative. For example, when we construct a road or a dam in a forest area, it will be disturbing the forest ecosystem as we already discussed. So that is a negative impact. And what is positive impact? The positive impact is it will be developing our socio-economical system. So when we start a new project, there is a negative and positive impacts. Then what is environment? Our environment is made up of biophysical and socio-economic components. For example, air, water, noise, our economy, weather, flora and fauna, etc. So we have to assess what are the impacts, what are the positive and negative impacts by this proposed project or by the construction of a road or a dam on our environment, on the vegetation, on the human beings, or on our climates, weather, etc. So environmental impact assessment is the formal and systematic process used to identify, predict, and evaluate environmental consequences, positive or negative, of a plan, policy, program, or project prior to the decision to move forward with the proposed action. Next, we will discuss objectives of environmental impact assessment. The first objective is to identify all environmental factors in the project area which will be influenced by all the activities of the project under consideration. Suppose we are going to construct an airport in an area. So first we have to identify what are the different environmental factors which will be influenced by the construction of this airport. For example, the land use pattern, noise quality, air quality, water quality, etc. So the first step is the identification of the biophysical or socio-economical factors which will be influencing when we move forward with this work. So that is the first objective. The second objective is to identify the alternative approaches including no action plan, their levels of impacts and economic considerations. So after identifying the different environmental factors, then we have to assess what are the level of impacts, whether it is positive impact or negative impact. If the negative impact is in a large manner, whether we have to think about the stopping of the construction work. So that is the second objectives. Then we have to think about what are the different alternatives that we can consider when we move forward with this construction work. So the second step is the identification of the alternative approaches for the proposed work. In this objective, we have to assess the level of impact also. Then third objective is to describe the environmental setting, to collect data and the factors associated with the proposed action. So after identifying the different factors and considering the different alternatives, the next step is to collect the different data related to different affecting factors. For example, suppose the land use pattern will be affected by the construction of the airport. So we have to collect what is the current land use pattern in that area, how much agricultural land is there, and what is the proportion of vegetation, the water bodies, the marshy land, etc. So first we have to study what is the current land use pattern, that we can study using the satellite images, etc. We have different methods to study the land use pattern. For example, if the soil quality is affected by the airport construction, then we have to collect data. We have to conduct a soil survey to study about the soil pattern. What is the texture? What is the pH value? Then what is the bulk density of the current soil strata? Then what is the available nitrogen in the soil? Then what is the total organic matter in the soil quantity? All these factors we have to consider when we collect the soil data. If it is in the case of water, then we have to collect the data for surface water and groundwater also. So then what is the pH, conductivity, the hardness, color, then dissolved oxygen, turbidity of the surface water and the groundwater. That data we have to collect. Then if it is a case of the noise level, what is the current noise level? What is the equivalent noise level in that area? In the we can collect the data for each hour, the hourly variation in the data during the daytime and the nighttime also. To collect data, we can conduct surveys or we can discuss with the local people in that nearby areas. So we have to collect data on each parameter or on each factor that will be influenced by the construction of the airport. The next objective is to evaluate control measures. Then after identifying or after collecting the data on each environmental factor, we have to think about what are the mitigation measures or what are the control measures to reduce the impact of that construction work on the environment. For example, if it's in the case of water quality, some measures would be taken to control or to reduce the water pollution. So how can we stop that pollution caused by the construction waste, or how can we properly treat the wastewater, or how can we dispose the oil waste produced by the construction equipment or diesel generator sets. So that different aspects that we have to consider to control the water pollution. If it in the case of noise pollution, how can we control the noise level generated by the construction equipments? So we can think of some silencers in the case of machines, or we can use some noise absorbents to reduce the level of the noise. If it in the case of soil quality, how can we reduce the soil pollution? So how can we treat that different waste which will be dumped upon the our land? So these different control measures that we have to think when we start a new project. What are the different control measures that we can apply to reduce the impact on the environment? So this is the fourth objective, to evaluate control measures. The next objective is to evaluate information, to provide information and encourage public participation in evaluate the impact of the proposed project. that step is definitely taken by the different agencies to determine or to assess the public perception when we start a new project. So there will be some concerns by the local people when we start a new project. So we definitely we have to make aware them about the negative and positive impacts, and we have to collect the perception by the local people also. So that is the last objective, to provide information and encourage public participation in evaluate the impact of the proposed project. For that public participation, we have to conduct a public meetings. We have to provide give advertisements on the newspapers and social media about the starting of the project. So that steps also we have to take when we start a new project. So these are the different objectives of the environmental impact assessment. First, the identification of the environmental factors, then consideration of the alternative approaches. Then we have to collect data to know about the level of impact or the different aspects that we have to consider when we start a new project. Then we have to consider the different mitigation measures to reduce the impact. Then public participation also to be involved in the when we start a new project. So these are the different objectives of the EIA. In this slide, we will discuss about some environmental components of EIA. The main components is listed out here: air environment, noise, water environment, biological environment, and land environment. Consider the same example of construction of an airport in an area. So in the case of an airport construction, there will be an impact during the pre-construction stage, construction stage, and operational stage. So we have to consider the impact on the environment during all these stages. The first aspect is air environment. So when we consider the air environment aspect, we know there will be air emission during the construction stage and during the operation stage also. During construction stage, there will be some emissions from the vehicles running to the construction site, or during the unloading of the cement bags, or due to the construction equipment vehicles. And in the case of operational stage, there will be emission from the aircraft movement, or the emission from the vehicles coming to the airport to take the passengers. So there will be some extra amount of air emissions during the construction stage and operation stage, in addition to the existing air pollution. So we have to estimate what will be the air pollution in the during the construction stage and operation stage also, and what is the impact of the construction, or what is the impact of this proposed project on the environment. So first we have to consider the air quality. What is the air quality at the present, and what will be the air quality, or what will be the emission quantity due to the proposed construction. So for that aspect, we have to consider in the case of air environment. Quality of these are the main aspects we have to consider in the air environment case: the quality of ambient air present and predicted, the meteorological data, what is the wind speed, the direction of wind and humidity, etc. Then what will be the quantity of the emission from the project, then what will be the impact of these emissions on the human beings or vegetation or the environment. Then what are the desired air quality standards in that area? Is that residential area, or is that the conserved area? That aspects also we have to consider in the air environment aspect. The next one is the noise environment. As in the case of air environment, there will be some noise disturbances during the construction stage and during the operation stage also. When we construct the airports, there will be some noise disturbances due to the construction equipment vehicles, or due to the movement of vehicles, or due to the process during the payment and payment concreting, etc. During the operation stage, there will be some noise disturbances due to the movement of the aircrafts, or due to due to the taxi vehicles. So we have to estimate, or we have to predict what will be the noise level, the equivalent noise level at the due to the airport construction in the in the future. So that these are the aspects that we have to consider: the level of noise present and predicted. Then what is the measures to be taken to reduce the noise pollution? Some noise absorbing materials can be used, or some silencer has to be fitted in the construction equipments vehicles. So like some mitigation measures that we have to consider in the case of noise aspect. The next one is the water environment. What is the water quality or water quantity at the ground level, or at the surface level, or at the underground level at present, and what will be the impact of this construction project on this quantity and quality of the quality and quantity of the this water. As we discussed in the air environment and noise level also, we have to consider during the water quality during the construction stage and the operation stage also. During construction stage, there will be some wastewater generated due to the construction, or there will be some loose water, some excavated loose soil will be washed off during the construction stage. That will be reaching in the groundwater level also. So that all aspects that we have to consider in the case of water environment. In the during the operation stage also, there will be some wastewater from the domestic usages, like the dining rooms, or washing hands, the toilet, urinals, etc. So that amount of wastewater generation also to predicted in the case of water environment. And what will be this impact, how they are going to affect the present water quality and quantity when we implement this project. That is also to be taken in consideration when we consider a new project. And then the next one is biological environment. How will be this project going to affect the biological existing flora and fauna? So first we have to conduct a survey to know the variety of the flora and fauna in that area. Then we have to estimate, or we have to predict what will be the impact upon these flora and fauna due to the proposed work. That aspects also to be taken. The next one is land environment. How it is going to affect the existing soil characteristics, soil texture. And then how will be the land use is going to, pattern is going to change due to this area. That aspects also is to be taken in consideration. So these are the different the brief listing of the different environmental components of the environmental impact assessment. In the case of air environment, and the noise environment, water environment, biological environment, land environment, etc. In the next video, we will be discussing about the EIA process, the EIA process in India. So thank you all.